Do you feel like everything around you is falling apart at the current moment? Do you feel like you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, you have to let go of control, you're challenged over and over? Well, know that you are not alone. This past full moon energy in Aries has been really shaking many of us to the core. And this video is dedicated to give you clarity about what's happening right now. Hello everyone, my name is Doris Victoria, your personal empowerment and conscious millionaire coach. And what I want to start with today is know first of all that if you have been shaking, like many of us have, if you feel like everything is falling apart, like nothing is working out, like we're really, the old patterns are unraveling once more, old things, the darkest shadows that we have been trying to avoid, they are coming back right now. Well, know that this is a time for new beginnings, for endings and new beginnings. Full moons are always endings and new beginnings. So are new moons. This is a powerful time for us to let go of what no longer serves us and to become aware once more what really matters for us. So first of all, we had this very powerful full moon in Aries this past Monday. Depending on where you were in the world, Monday or Tuesday, the 6th or the 7th. And already this is a very powerful time. This is not an easy time to deal with our emotions. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel anxious and you feel like there are no solutions and you have to let go of control, there's nothing you can do right now. This is all very normal. And so the first thing I want to tell you is that you're not alone. When you have been experiencing shakenings all the way down to the core, you're not alone. So we are going through powerful times right now. This is why I wanted to do this video to kind of like share an energy update. Many of us very, very deeply connected healers, counselors, homeopaths, all of us holistic practitioners that are here on earth, knowing that we are here for a bigger purpose, knowing that we are here to plant the seeds for a new humanity, knowing that we are here to plant seeds for peace on earth. If you have been one of them, or if you are one of them, you know that your life has never really been easy, but that right now really is a time that we are invited to come home to our soul self in order to be the lighthouses that this world needs. So remember, lighthouses are never placed in the safest locations. And I've done many shorts. If you follow my shorts, all my shorts were about this theme. I always tune into the energy of the current day, and then I share with you what is coming up the most. So we have been talking about relationships. We have been talking about lighthouses, for example, were never placed in the safest waters or in the safest locations. And yet the lighthouse is not afraid to face the storm. The lighthouse wouldn't run away if there would be a storm coming. The lighthouse knows that it is built on a solid foundation within itself. Our solid foundation is our soul self, is knowing. It is knowing ourselves and hence knowing the truth. Knowing ourselves, knowing that we are God incarnated here on earth like everyone else is. The only difference between us is maybe our awareness, our consciousness about it. So, but knowing that you are always held, that there's a power so big, so beautiful, so ever-present, that is always there to hold you and to give you what you need in that present moment. And even though it feels like everything is falling apart, or like your furs are swimming away, or like, you cannot catch the boats anymore that you have left at the end of the island in order to go into that boat and flee from this island anymore. If that feels like it right now, it is really just an invitation from the universe for us to connect with what is really true within ourselves. And the truth about ourselves, as I said, is this divine light, is the awareness behind thoughts. I made a short about this as well. Consciousness is not the thought itself, but it is the awareness behind the thought. And you are the eternal observer that sees beyond the illusion of this material world. And then the more you awaken, the more you become aware of your awareness, the more you're opening the path for your own awakening. And I'm not saying that we're not awakened yet. Many of us have been going through really shakings through the last years. And so many of us have learned a lot of things. But I believe that what we are really invited to remember right now is that we are powerful beyond measures. And that we're not only this physical appearance. We are this amazing, never-ending, never-dying energy of love, of light that came here, that consciously chose to come back to this planet, to go exactly through everything that we're going through right now, so that we can plant the seeds. Because what the world needs most in this moment is people who are not getting into the drama of the outside world. I know that, maybe it doesn't only feel like it for you, because right now here in Southern Europe, for example, or many places all over the world, governments are falling down. There's political crises. If you have been following this, for me, this is rather a distraction. It's kind of like, it's a nice reminder that we are the directors of our own lives. So imagine this world, this planet is merely a playground for our souls to expand, to illuminate, to come back home to our hearts, where love resides, where light resides, where infinite joy resides, where there's balance, there's peace, there's happiness, there's bliss, there's total God connection. And if there's total God connection, there's also total connection to every other sacred form of life here on earth. So imagine for a while that you are the director in this playground right now of your own theater, so to speak. And many of you might maybe argue with me right now. Well, you have no idea how my life is right now. Believe me, I know. I have been working with clients, I'm talking with friends, and including my own life. It has been challenging, I'm not saying it was otherwise. But everything, dear one, has a reason. Hard times create strong people. Remember that. I already said that before many times. Harsh times create strong people. We have been living a pretty comfortable life for a while, let's say until 2019 maybe. And then things were starting to fall apart. Things were starting to slightly crumble. Things were starting to change. Things were starting to feel overwhelmed or anxious or like a loss of control in your world. Well, remember that whenever that happens, it is always opening the path for something new in our lives. And that's what we are invited right now. We are invited to give up control, to surrender. And surrender doesn't merely mean to give up to the current energy, to give in to the current energy. It means to surrender to your own God self. Surrender to your own soul. Because if we do surrender our ego to our soul, that's where the real guidance has been waiting for all along. That's where the real information, the real intuition exists, that we maybe have not been able to listen to because we were too caught up in our heads. The ego was speaking too loud. Well, if you surrender to your soul self, to your God self, like the lighthouse, when the storm is hitting, The lighthouse is just standing, anchored in its foundation, observing what is happening right now and knowing that it has the tools, the stability, the balance to handle it all in the highest vibration. So this is a reminder for all of us, whatever is happening in your life right now. Are you losing a job? Is your marriage falling apart? Are relationships falling apart? Are you losing your house? Are you losing whatever? Or are you gaining things? Maybe things are coming into your life. You know, that can also be the case. But whatever it is, remember that when we handle everything that might seem overwhelming in the first place, when we handle it with ease and grace and bliss, knowing that we are so much more than just this physical body, and knowing that when we give up control, the universe will then be able to step in and guide us to what is exactly the next step for us. Remember that in that current energy, dear one. I know it will help you big time. And remember also that, as Elizabeth Gilbert said in her book, Eat, Pray, Love, for those of you who know, ruin is the path to transformation. And that's what I said before. Unfortunately, we human beings, we need to move through hard times in order to become more conscious, in order to become wiser. Because when nothing else in the outside world is working anymore, there's only one place that we have left. We can either fall apart or we can attach to the power within. That was my last video. When you know thyself, you will know the truth. You will know this amazing power that exists within you, that has always been there. It has always been calling you. And if it really feels like things are falling apart for you right now, then remember to get in line to marry this beautiful soul self within yourself, where there's not necessarily control. Remember the words of Rumi or many, many poets who said, the path will appear once you start walking it. Clarity will come once you start taking the first step. So you cannot really know everything at once. You know, if you feel like you have to figure out your life right now, right here, no. Just trust this divine guidance. Do step by step. Remember, you cannot climb a ladder from the first step all the way up. You have to take step by step in order to be up at the ladder. So this is what we are invited right now. The energies are here to serve us. The energies are here to shake us to the core, but not to punish us or to give us a hard time, but to remind us what we are still holding within our energy that is holding us back, that is no longer serving. You know, I talked about relationships, for example. I'm doing this with red roses in case of you who have seen my flowers. My red roses are always next to me, and flowers are so helpful. So anyway, back to relationships. I did this short, for those of you who haven't seen it, about relationships, and that many feel that relationships are like trousers, and that no matter if they're too big or too small, the most important thing is that we have one. But it's not the truth about relationships. Relationships are actually like shoes. Maybe it feels exciting and adventurous in the beginning when you start walking in too big or too small shoes. But as you keep walking, as you start a long walk in your life, remember that whether the shoe is too big or too small, you will suffer terrible pain. So you might want to glance some light over your relationships right now. Are your relationships serving you? Are those relationships with people that are supporting you, that are not holding you down? People that are of the same depth like you are? Or are these people that rather want to stay at the surface level and that maybe lack empathy or whatever it is for you at times? You really want to rethink everything in your life and Have the courage. Remember how Osho said that courage is a love affair with the unknown. Yes, the future, if it's unknown, it can be anxious. But remember also that the future is just a fantasy. The future is only a projection of the thoughts you're having about your past right now. The future does not necessarily mean what you are imagine it to be right now. The future can be something completely different. And that's when your awareness comes in. That's when you disconnect a little bit from the drama of the outside world, whatever it is, and you come home to your own soul self. And you start co-creating, consciously co-creating, knowing that you are the creator of your reality at all times. And that this capacity is inherently in your blueprint. It's inherently in your DNA. No one can take that from you. That's who you are. And with that awareness, dear one, you are co-creating at each moment, in each new breath that you are taking. And remember that every breath is a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning. And the way your life seems right now, whatever is falling apart, or whatever seems difficult right now, maybe you are being shaken at the core, maybe you are being overrun by your own demons. Know that they're here to serve a purpose. They're here to remind you that there's still something that you're clouding your precious energy with. Remember also that your energy, your vibrational frequency is the most precious currency that you have in your life. If you still allow the outside drama, the outside world drama, or your own worries, your own fears right now about whatever might be going on in your world, in your life, remember not to let yourself cloud by this energy, but to stay anchored like the lighthouse in your own joy, in your own bliss. Sometimes it takes as little as just shifting your focus to something that brings you happiness, instead of thinking about how you can resolve the drama around you. And sometimes it just takes as little as conscious breathing, conscious breath work, or just connecting with your heart where all the answers lie. Connecting with your intuition. It takes as little as listening to peaceful music, for example. Music that is uplifting your spirit. So remember, you are the eternal self, the eternal awareness behind everything that is happening. Know that your thoughts, your feelings, whatever is going on, is not you. It is merely the human self that is moving through all of this as an invitation to become even stronger, to become even more conscious, to become even more aware and awakened. So remember that everything is here to serve you, my dear one, and remember how dearly you're loved by life, by God, by Source, that you are part of it. And if you consciously choose to connect with that part within you, that love will be overwhelmingly, abundantly there for you. So what you can do today is just, what I often do when I don't know anymore. It happens even to the most, to the most aware of us. We still are challenged, like everyone else here on earth, with problems. When I talk to the most amazing people in this world that we feel like they have it all figured out, believe me, they're still facing their own challenges right now as well. No one of us is, how can I say, cleared or cleansed from all these past residue that has been holding us down, or else we would not be here anymore. We would already be in nirvana. So remember, beautiful soul self, I hope this makes sense, that you are God incarnated here on earth. And if you connect to this side and you are handling whatever is coming your way with ease and grace and bliss and the constant awareness that you are the truth and that you have all the answers within you, and that source, or this divine aid love that I always call it, you know, a reunion between the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. When you connect consciously with this part in you, everything will work out. I hope this was serving you, my dear beloved soul. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. I also want to take a moment to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I know that this world is very busy, and so I even appreciate it more, even more, that you're here sharing those moments with me, coming back into your God self, where the awareness of bliss and joy and knowing thyself resides at all times. And have a blessed day. Again, thank you for your commenting. If you want to share in the comments below what you're going through right now, we are here to help each other, to support each other. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.